If you've been working from home for the past year or more, your pets are probably really happy. But as we start to do more and go back into the office, pets may start to feel that separation anxiety. Dr. Krista Coppola is here with some tips on making that transition a little bit easier for our furry friends. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm happy to have you here. So tell me, what exactly is separation anxiety, the definition of that, and then how do we know if our pets actually have it?
So, separation anxiety is a clinical diagnosis where our pets are struggling to cope with being left alone, which, of course, is to be expected with having been home with us for so long during the pandemic. Some behaviors they might exhibit include barking, howling, or whining when left alone, having accidents in the house when they wouldn't normally, again, when you're not there, some destruction at exit points that you might find when you get home. It's their attempt to reunite with you. And then there's also some other behaviors that you wouldn't necessarily notice. These include decreased appetite, hypersalivation, hyperactivity, and they can experience these behaviors when you're not there, and you wouldn't necessarily know that they are having anxiety when they're home alone.
Well, this is so sad. I mean, how can we help prepare our pets for the transition so they don't experience that?
So we can help our pets first by actually knowing the behaviors that they're experiencing, because that's going to be the best thing to help us combat those behaviors. I always recommend to go ahead and videotape them when you're not home. A great camera that you can use for this is the Wise video camera, so you can watch your pets from your phone to know what they're actually doing when you're not there. Once we know what they are doing, we can help them by bringing in enrichment items for them when you're not there. So something like puzzle toys or boredom buster mats. These will help give them something to do when you're not with them. But then also ease them into the departures and the absences by taking short trips away from them. And by trip, I mean heading out to the mailbox, going around the blocks to the grocery store, or getting some coffee. So we're not taking them straight to an 8-hour workday of being alone, but small little sessions to begin with.
Okay, got it. So, is there anything that we should be avoiding?
Yes, you should absolutely never bring punishment into the scenario. Keep it in mind that they are going through a state of distress and they are struggling with not being with you. So we wouldn't want to add to their anxiety by adding any punishment onto them. I know it can be extremely frustrating. I had a pet myself that experienced separation anxiety, and it is really heartbreaking for everyone involved, but really need to keep in mind that it's an emotional response. So punishment is just something that should be completely off the table.
And what are some other products or services to help our pets cope?
Some other great services, PetSmart offers doggy day camp, which you can utilize for parts of the day when you need to be left, and they get to play with other dogs and get mentally enriched. And then you bring them home, and then they're more likely to sleep because they're tired, and so that's going to be easier for them during that absence. Some other A new class that they have is called the brain games class, and this is really going to help bring some fun into their lives, fun with that pet parent to enrich that human animal bond, and it'll help combat that anxiety that they're experiencing because they'll be mentally enriched through fun, engaging toys and games.
That's great. You know, with Memorial Day coming up, do you have any tips for traveling with our pets, especially right now?
Tips for traveling would definitely include that our pets may not have been out in public for the last year. So, need to keep in mind that as we are wanting to socialize ourselves, we want to ease them into that socialization. So, they may be a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit hesitant in new environments with new people. And we want to keep it as normal for them as possible. You can bring some items from home that helps bring a little piece of home with them. And then, of course, always be an advocate for your pup. So never put him in a situation where he's uncomfortable.
Well, this is all really good information and information we want to have at our fingertips. Is there a website that you can point us to so we can follow up?
You can learn more at PetSmart's website, which is petsmart.com/new normal. And there's tons of tips and recommendations there to help parents help their pets as they are getting back to the new normal.
All right, Dr. Coppola, thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.